There's a popular quote that goes like this: "The longer you are single, the greater is your desire to stay single." That is just a quote though. Let's figure out the reality of being single. Is being single normal? Is it dangerous to stay single for too long? What are the pros and cons of being single? And how long is too long? Watch this video until the end to find out. Be sure to subscribe if you are brand new to the Psych Authority channel so I can help you with relationship and psychology videos every week. And now let's get straight into this video. So first of all, is it normal to be single? The answer is yes. In 2023, almost 40% of adults in the USA are single, according to census records. Psychology Today reports that being single is totally normal now more than any other time in history, both in the United States and many other places around the world. And it's becoming more and more common for people to stay single for 10 or 20 years, or even stay single for their whole life. So if you are single, trust me, you are not alone. One study even estimated that by the time today's young adults reach the age of 50, 1 in 4 of them will have been single for their entire life. But is it dangerous to stay single for a long time? Now the answer here is both yes and no. A lot of people will tell you that being single for too long is dangerous to your health, which is partially true, and we will get to that later in the video. But first, I want you to know that staying single for your whole life can actually be perfectly healthy. One 2010 study showed that single people over 40 years old who have never been married have about the same ability to be successful in life as people who are married. But it also did show that adults who never married had somewhat lower levels of emotional well-being versus people who got married. So there definitely are pros and cons to being single, and I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about this right now, starting with the pros. Pros of being single number 1, freedom. Being single gives you space to figure out who you are as a person and what you need to be happy. Too often, people leave one relationship and then start a new one right away, but this can lead to a very unhealthy thing called repetition compulsion. This is where we rush into a new relationship with the wrong person just because we want to stop the pain of being alone. Real quick, please leave a like on this video if you are enjoying it so far. Thank you very much for watching. I highly appreciate you. And now let's talk about the next pro of being single. Number 2, exercise and weight. Being single makes you more likely to exercise and less likely to gain weight. Studies have shown that happily married couples usually start gaining weight after they get married, and less than 40% of married people actually get the recommended 150 minutes of physical activity every week. Whereas almost 70% of single men and women do get the recommended weekly physical activity. Pros of being single number 3, more friends. You may have better social skills and more friends if you are single. One study found that single people were better at keeping healthy relationships with their friends, their family, and their neighbors compared to married people. Single people tend to have a larger network of people that they care about rather than just their one significant other. Pros of being single number 4. You become more focused and assertive. Single people tend to be more focused on their lives and put more energy into building their careers or achieving personal goals than people in a relationship. This also makes you more assertive because you are always used to getting your own way instead of having to cooperate with your partner on decisions. Now, this can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you want to look at it. These are just a few of the positive things that come along with being single. Now, let's talk about some of the cons to staying single for a long time. Cons of being single number 1 is more psychological issues. One study showed that single men and women have higher levels of depression, anxiety, mood disorders, and other types of psychological issues than married people and also people in committed relationships. Cons of being single number 2 is lower self-esteem. One survey suggests that people who are single for a long time can have lower self-esteem than people who are in a happy relationship. Cons of being single number 3, more bad habits. Being single for too long can make you develop really bad habits. People who stay single for a long time do not constantly have someone keeping them in check with their behaviors and their routines, so they are more likely to develop and maintain harmful patterns of behavior. And cons of being single number 4, lower survival rate. One study shows that people in a healthy relationship are 14% more likely to survive a heart attack versus single people. And another study shows that people in happy relationships live longer than single people. One study shows that women who have always been single are actually healthier than women who are married. But it also shows that divorced women who stayed single had worse health than currently married women, and divorced women who went on to live with a new partner did have better health. Widowed women who never remarried also had good health. So these are a few of the negative things that can come along with being single for too long. Now that leads us to our next question, which is, how long is too long to stay single? Now, according to relationship expert Megan Stubbs, there actually is no set time frame that counts for being single too long. So it's really up to you to decide. There are good things and bad things about being single and about being in a relationship, and there is no one-size-fits-all answer to this that will work for everybody. So here's the bottom line. Dr. Bella DiPaolo has a really good theory. She says that single life may be best for some people, and relationships may be better for other people. She concludes that maybe the best thing to do is to figure out what works best for each of us and then stick to that. Don't try to force a relationship if you don't want one. But if you are the type of person who needs a relationship to thrive, then go for it. But I want to know, what do you think? How long do you think is too long to stay single? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please share this video if you have found it helpful, and if you would like to start dating but you have had trouble in the past, learning about your personal attachment style can help you fix any issues that you may have when it comes to relationships. Click here to find out which attachment style you have, and I will see you there.